What's up, guys? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm bringing you a commentary today. And I want to talk about movies. I know, I recently did a Sunday review called the Sunday Top 5, and I did my top 5 favorite movies of all time. But there was a lot of movies that I left off the list because it was only limited to 5. And I want to go ahead and go over some 5 more movies that should pretty much belong somewhere in the top 10 or maybe the top 15, but in no particular order that you might have forgot. One of these movies would be Fight Club. Fight Club is one of those movies that kind of keeps you thinking throughout the entire movie. Well, it makes you think something else throughout the entire movie, and when the ending happens, you automatically want to go back and rewatch the entire movie. Some of the things that I really enjoyed about Fight Club was how it's pretty much anti-society look on things. Not too much anti-society, but anti-big business. It kind of makes you sit back and look at what we kind of value our life on, where it's with such lines as the opening credits of the movie, which reads something like this. If you're reading this warning is for you. Every word you read of this useless fine print is another second off your life. Don't you have other things to do? Is your life so empty that you honestly can't think of a better way to spend these moments? Or are you so impressed with authority that you give authority respect and cadence to all that claim it? Do you read everything you're supposed to read? Do you think what you're supposed to think? Buy what you're told? Do what you're told? Get out of your apartment. Meet a member of the opposite sex. Stop the excessive shopping and masturbation. Quit your job. Start a fight. Prove you're alive. If you don't claim your humanity, you will just become a statistic. And that's the kind of questions that Fight Club pretty much illustrates throughout the whole movie. And it's a movie that you'll want to watch over and over again if you've never seen it. It starred Edward Norton Jr. and Brad Pitt, and I really do recommend it. Another movie that I kind of left off the list, and I thought about it after the fact, and it probably should have been in the top 5 for me, but the reason it didn't make it into the top 5 after sitting and thinking about it was it just doesn't appeal to a lot of people. And that movie would be Million Dollar Baby. Million Dollar Baby came out when I was... I honestly can't remember when it came out. I was 17 or 18. And I remember wanting to see it in theaters and I never got around to it. So I ended up catching it when it came out on DVD. And this movie is one of Clint Eastwood's masterpieces. In my opinion, it might have been the movie Clint Eastwood should have went out on. He shouldn't have done, Hereafter or Gran Torino, even though Gran Torino is another good movie. I think Million Dollar Baby might be Clint Eastwood's masterpiece. It's basically the story of rope burns, where you have a 30-something-year-old woman that pretty much is putting herself through a boxing regimen because she wants to be something she's told she was not. And the boxing is very little part of the movie, even though the boxing is the basis of the movie. The part of the movie is the fight of inhuman spirit and will, and there's 2 separate stories being told in it. And I don't want to give it all away. I'm just saying that it's a movie that it'll capture your heart, and you'll want to watch it again and again. Morgan Freeman's in this movie just like he was in Unforgiven, and he plays in this a spectacular role. He does a great job as the bum fighter with a bad eye that pretty much cleans spit buckets at a local gym. Whereas Clint Eastwood pretty much gets shit on by a professional fighter and ends up training somebody he doesn't want to train. And even though the story doesn't have an happy ending, it has a really good ending. And it's an ending that you should see, and I don't want to ruin for you. If you have time and you're looking for or even if you're looking for a date night movie with a girlfriend and she wants something dramatic, pick Million Dollar Baby. Probably one of the best films ever made. I'm going to go ahead and talk about one more film while we're here, since we're running short on time, and that would be No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men is a Coen Brothers movie, and if you're like me, I love Coen Brothers movies. Fargo just is another one that really, really stands out. But when I watched this one, I had the intentions of one of the best movies ever made right off the bat as soon as I watched it. It's basically about a guy that walks up into a Mexican drug deal that gone bad, and he takes the money and runs. Well, people want to track that money down, so they hire a guy named Ashton Sugar, and he is probably one of the most badass characters ever to grace film. You know, there's a lot of characters you might think are badass, spinning axes around and like jumping through hoops and fires and stuff. Ashton Sugar, he's more than that. He is the persona of death himself. He doesn't care. He's emotionless, and he's very methodical. He's almost scary. If you don't believe me that Ashton Sugar is almost scary, watch the scene I'm gonna put in the description of this video. There's no music in it. There's nothing driven. It's 100% dialogue between two men, and it's probably one of the greatest scenes for atmosphere that they've ever put in a movie. It's right up there close to some of the stuff that George Orwell used to do. And those are three movies that I really think you should check out. Most of them are pretty well known, but most of them might have flown under the radar. And if you want me to, I'll do more movies that you might have seen, because watching movies is something I've done most of my life, and it's pretty much a pastime of mine, and I love the art of making movies. I'd probably be no good at it myself, but it's just something I've always enjoyed doing. As always, it's been your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm Audi 5000. Peace, pimps.